And we begin this hour in Uvalde, Texas, following one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. On Tuesday, a gunman barricaded himself inside a classroom at Robb Elementary School, roughly 80 miles outside of San Antonio, and opened fire. At least 19 children and 2 teachers are dead. More than a dozen others are injured. Officials say that the 18-year-old suspect got into a fight with his grandmother before shooting her, taking her car, and carrying out the massacre at the elementary school. Investigators say the gunman entered the school through a back door, armed with an AR-15 assault rifle, just before noon. Virtually all of the victims in the attack came from the same classroom. The suspect was shot and killed at the scene. CBS News KTVT Dallas-Fort Worth's Erin has more.
Investigators swarmed the streets around Uvalde's Robb Elementary School, the site of the nation's latest heartbreak.
It is intolerable and it is unacceptable for us to have in the state anybody who would kill little kids in our schools.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says 18-year-old Salvador Ramos posted on Facebook before shooting his grandmother and then barging into a 4th grade classroom with an AR-15 assault rifle. Police say that's where he killed 19 children and 2 teachers.
The shooter was able to make entry into a classroom, barricaded himself, and at that point, it just started shooting children and teachers that were inside that classroom, having no regard for human life. Just a complete tragedy.
After confronting and killing the shooter, police went to his home and found his grandmother clinging to life. A neighbor says the shooter moved in with his grandparents because of troubles at home and describe him as quiet and hard to talk to. His motive unknown. As the FBI went door to door speaking to neighbors, investigators revealed the suspect had legally purchased 2 rifles soon after turning 18.
There has been no criminal history identified yet. He may have had a juvenile record, but that is yet to be determined. There was no known mental health history.
After an agonizing wait for information, all families have now been notified of their loss, including relatives of 10-year-old Eliana Garcia.
She was very sweet.
President Biden, after pleading for new gun restrictions, will visit Uvalde as soon as this weekend, hoping to bring comfort to the heartbroken. Erin, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
Our Tanya Rivero joins us now from Uvalde, Texas for more on this. Hi, Tanya. It's so good to see you. I know you've been reporting on the ground there all day. What is the latest that you're hearing there about the events that unfolded leading up to and during this tragedy at Robb Elementary School?
Sure, Caitlin. Well, as you can see, I'm standing in front of the school where the investigation is still very much ongoing and a parade of flowers have been arriving regularly. But we are learning more about the victims at this hour. We do have some names and pictures to show you heartbreakingly. 8-year-old Uzziah Garcia, 9-year-old Amory Joe Garza, 10-year-old Annabelle Rodriguez, as well as Eva Moreyes, who was one of the 2 teachers killed, along with those 19 elementary school students killed. They are all among the confirmed victims at this hour. Now, we do have some more information about what took place right before the shooting. Officials say that Salvador Ramos, the suspect, shot his grandmother in the face at home, but she was able to call police. The 2 were reportedly arguing over his cell phone bill, over who would pay it. And investigators say they are continuing to probe whether this could be the trigger that launched him into that murderous rampage. Now, we do also know that the 18-year-old purchased his AR-15 assault-style weapon that he used in the massacre legally. Officials say he had no history of mental illness that they could find. He had no criminal record to speak of. But they did say, Governor Greg Abbott did say he made a chilling Facebook post just 30 minutes before his rampage at the school. He posted, first, I am going to shoot my grandmother. Second, I have shot my grandmother. And third, I am going to shoot an elementary school.
Tanya, I want to ask you a little bit more about that press conference Governor Abbott gave today. He was discussing mental health as a factor in yesterday's shooting. Let's take a listen to some of what he said.
The question was, what is the problem here? And they were straightforward and emphatic. They said we have a problem with mental health illness in this community. And then they elaborated on the magnitude of the mental health challenges that they are facing in the community and the need for more mental health support in this region.
So the governor was just talking about his conversations with local law enforcement, and he had said moments before that the shooter had no previous record of mental health issues. So what more can you tell us about this?
Right, and interestingly, that one law enforcement officer that he asked that question to was a man who lost his daughter in the school shooting. And according to the governor, that law enforcement officer and the mayor both said to him the problem is mental health. Now, at about that moment, Caitlin, that is when Beto O'Rourke, who, as you know, is running for governor of Texas, challenging Greg Abbott, he sort of burst into the press conference, interrupting it quite vociferously. And we couldn't hear exactly what he said because, of course, he wasn't mic'd. But we do know that he's criticized Governor Abbott on several occasions over his gun legislation, and we do know that that O'Rourke is a big proponent of restricting gun rights in the state. And it was a sort of a shocking moment. And on a personal note, I had seen Beto this morning as I was traveling very early this morning, 1 o'clock this morning at the Houston airport. As I was traveling here, we asked him if he wanted to speak about the shooting, and he said, I'm going to wait to speak later. And clearly he was planning this moment. But it does illustrate the sort of partisan divide, Caitlin, that is developing over what to do about these mass shootings. On the one side, you have Republicans who say this is a mental health issue, not a gun issue, and what we need to do is to provide more mental health help. On the other hand, you have people who want to see more gun legislation saying, look, other countries have similar amounts of mental health illnesses, but they do not have as many mass shootings as we do here. So you're beginning to see this sort of harden into two parts of the argument over what to do about the problem that we clearly have in this country of mass shootings.
Certainly some high tension there at that press conference. Going back to the information that we're learning at this minute, is there any new information about those who survived this deadly, horrific shooting?
Well, we do know that there were 17 others injured, aside from the 19 children who were killed and the 2 educators. 17 others were injured. We did hear from law enforcement today that none of those 17 have life-threatening injuries, thankfully. We have been speaking to members of the community here, though, and in some ways they are all victims of this. I spoke to a young man who is a high school student here, whose younger brother was a student and was here at the shooting yesterday. Thankfully, he is okay and his friends are okay. But his brother told me he's never seen his little brother so shaken, so shocked, and he really worries about how he's going to move forward from this. It's sort of a question for the larger community when one imagines, how do you move forward from a tragedy of this magnitude?
Absolutely, and seeing the pictures of the victims, how young and innocent and sweet they look, your heart breaks for their families and all who love them and know them. And as you say, a community grieving this tremendous loss. Tanya Rivero, thank you so much for being with us and for your reporting. We appreciate it.